Hello and welcome to Pots and Trowels. Well, many parts of the UK have just been through our third heat wave of the summer, so we've had some pretty high temperatures by our standards, and as a result the gardens are now drying up, the borders are very dry, and lots of the summer flowering perennials are starting to go off. So today I'm going to just show you what you can do to try and revamp them and get them growing again so you get more flowers later on in the season. And today's video is brought to you with the support of Cobra Garden and King Seeds. So in this part of the border here, we've got a mixture of all sorts of summer flowering perennials. So we've got this lovely Nepeta. This one here, we always think of Nepeta as blue, but this is just a lovely pale pink. It's looked really good, and it normally flowers all the way through the summer, but the heat has really knocked it for six, and it's looking now a bit tatty, and there's no new buds coming because the ground is bone dry. That can be cut back quite hard. So what I will do with that one, as you can see, it's quite a long straggly plant. It's no good just simply cutting little bits off like that. What we would need to do is to get right into there and to take quite a bit of the growth off. So we're cutting back into the lower growth. So by taking this off, all of this off, and cutting it hard back, it means the plant doesn't need as much water. It isn't losing as much water by transpiration, and we've cut back to just the green there. So it's quite a big job because this is quite a big sprawling plant. So I would need to go over the whole lot and cut all of that off. Seems a waste, but these flowers really have gone over, and there's going to be no more flowers on this now for a while. So the other thing, again, we've got here the Alchemilla mollis. These normally die at this time of the year anyway, so some people cut the whole lot down, but I just tend to cut the flowers off. So if you cut them off again, it helps with the stress of the plant. It means all the energy can then go into producing some more foliage, so you'll get another flush of lovely green leaves later on in the season. So we would go across and again cut all of that back. Similar thing with this one. This is one of the lovely salvias. This one is Salvia caradonna, and these flower and flower and flower, but they do get a bit tall. So again, what I would do with this one is I'm just going to gather it up and I will cut it down. So it's a case of chopping down the stems. Now, when they're in their first flush of flower, we can often sort of just trace out that main central flower there down to there, and we've got little side flowers coming. But again, because it's so dry, these just haven't got the vigor. They're just burning up in the hot sun. But that's what we would normally do, take that central one out and allow those to grow. But by going harder, cutting down, we can see all these little side shoots lower down. Now I'm doing it very quickly, but of course you can take a bit more time and actually cut down to a bud so that those shoots will grow. So again, we just snip all of those out like that. You've got to be brave to do it, but I can guarantee come another 6 weeks time, this will be absolutely full of flower and look absolutely amazing. So it's worth doing it now to get that flower later on in the season. So you can see I've reduced that by at least half, so the plant will now survive better in this hot weather, and all of these shoots will grow and produce flowers. And then we've got this one. This one's gone a bit mad this year. It's grown taller than normal. I think it's because it was quite moist early on in the season, and it's got probably half as tall again as it would normally do. And this is a lovely stachys. This one is called Summer Crush. And again, it's got lots of side shoots. So what I'm going to do again is be quite brutal with this one and cut them down like that. So it will leave a temporary gap in your borders. But as I say, the end result will be lots more flowers. Now, if you don't want to use secateurs, of course, you could use a pair of shears, but I think it's probably easier with the secateurs just to go in there. And you can see how far I'm going back. It's just flopping all over the place, and it's just needs a really good sort out. So if I cut that down, you can see now how much I'm taking off. I'm taking an awful lot off. And then I'm just going to trim some of those loose ends up like that. Just take any dead brown leaves out. We just want to give this plant a chance to make some new growth and flowers. So, quite drastic. Get rid of all the rubbish. That can all be chopped up, that can all be put now onto the compost heap. So what do we do now to promote that new growth? Because the ground here is really, really dry. We can't use the hose pipe, but we can use a watering can. And of course, you can use washing up water as well. So if you've washed your pots in a bowl, let it cool, of course, that's fine. It doesn't matter that it's got detergent, and in fact, the detergent, the washing up liquid, acts as a wetting agent, and it will allow the moisture to soak into dry soil better. Very often if you water dry soil, the water just beads on the surface and runs all over the place. It can't actually soak in and penetrate, but the detergent in this breaks that surface tension and allows the water to go in. So what I would do when I've cut all of these down, and I'm going to carry on when we finish this video, is I'm going to carry on and cut them all down, tidy them all up, and then I'll give each one at least a watering can, 2 gallons, which is about 9 litres of water. And I will put just a drop of washing up liquid into my watering can for that very reason. You can also put a bit of liquid feed in as a boost as well, but I'm just going to pour that around there, around where the roots are, and you can see it's running away because the ground is dry, but it will then soak in. And what will happen is that will then start to grow. Again, with this one here, a watering can at least is what you're going to need. Anything less won't soak down, because we want the water to soak down 3-4 inches into the soil at least, so that those roots can pick up that water. And then what will happen as soon as the temperatures drop a little bit, which hopefully they're forecast to do, and we've got some moisture around the roots, that plant will just want to grow. It's survival mode, it wants to grow, and it will put on some nice new growth, which will of course be followed by beautiful flowers in a month, 6 weeks, depending on what it is. So I've got quite a lot to do as I work my way around the border. Chop down now, and you'll get the flowers later on at the end of the summer. There, that's all chopped up now, reduced in bulk, and that can now be added onto the compost heap where it will rot down. And you can do this technique on most summer flowering perennials that are repeat flowers, the ones that would normally have a flush of flower and then a second flush later in the year. So things like the herbaceous geraniums, we've got veronicastrums, the veronicas, all of that type of thing. You can do that with them and you'll get the flowers later on. Don't forget, all the videos that we've done you can find on our website, which is pots&trowels.com, and you'll also get details of our podcast on there as well. So we'll be back again with you next week in the garden, but until then, bye for now.